Welcome to class. We'll begin today in a comfortable seat. Take a second to start to settle in here on your mat. You can close the eyes or gaze softly at the nose and just notice how you feel today. Coming into this space, preparing to move the body. Begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Focus on the breath. Observe how you feel, both mentally and physically. Begin to set an intention or resolve for your practice today that you can focus on. It can be something complicated or something as simple as I am present. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Take a few more breaths here in this seated position. Calming the mind. Knowing you're doing something that's good for yourself right now. Today's practice will be a full body opening. With some movement. We'll work our way from the bottom of the spine all the way up to opening the throat. When you're ready, we'll begin to slowly start to blink open the eyes and then make your way down to your back. So starting with the base of the spine, making sure the lower back is connected down to the ground. We'll start to take a spinal twist here, so hugging the right knee into the chest, drop the left leg to the ground, and then twist over to the left. Try to keep the right shoulder on the ground here. Notice if your hip flexors are feeling tight or your hips, maybe even the back. Just breathe into this twist. Seeing if with each breath you can allow yourself to come deeper into the twist. A few more breaths here. Relaxing through the shoulders. Maybe the right knee drops down farther to the ground. On your next inhale, begin to come back toward the center. Hug the left knee in toward the chest and then cross it over the right side of your body, extending the right leg in front of you. If it really is uncomfortable on your back, you can keep the knees stacked. Don't want any pain, just a good sensation twisting here. Allow the left shoulder to drop down to the ground as much as you can. It's okay if it doesn't come down all the way yet. Hopefully it'll inch closer down as the time goes on. Keep breathing deeply here. Enjoy this stillness. And then begin to come back toward the center. Grab the outer blades of your feet for happy baby. Keep sending the knees close down toward the ground. The tailbone down toward the ground. Keep breathing here, feeling the hips open. Slowly start to hug the knees back into the chest. And then make your way up into standing. Take a second to readjust yourself here in any way you need to. And then take the hands on the hips. We're going to take some hip circles here, so try not to feel silly or just working into the sides of the legs, the hips, and the hip flexors. So we'll go first counterclockwise, making them as big or as small as you'd like to. Just notice where you feel the stretch happening. And then go clockwise. Try not to be too into your head about this. Just move your hips in any way that feels good. Begin to start to release, make any other adjustments that you need to, and then come back to standing. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, and exhale, sink the hips, come into chair pose. Feet can be touching or shoulder width distance, and then fold forward. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, chair pose. Try not to round in the back. Keep sinking the hips down. Inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Sink the hips as low as you can, a little lower. And then fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, release the arms by the sides. Couple more circles with the hips here. One or two or three in each direction. Good, and then release. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Fold forward. Hang out here. And then slowly sink the hips a little lower in your chair pose. And then start to come all the way down to the ground into boat pose. So keeping your chest nice and tall here. Knees can be bent or straight. Keep reaching the arms up, breathing, engaging the core. Keep holding, nice and stable and strong. Nice job. And then slowly start to come forward, cross the ankles, make your way up into standing. Folding forward here, shake out the legs, drop the head if that feels good, and then bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the hips, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose. Drop the hips lower down, back into your boat pose. Knees can be bent or legs straight. Try to hollow out the belly here. Keep lifting the chest. Come into a place where you feel the most stable. Nice job. Then begin to come forward, and you can, if you'd like to, rock up and back to give yourself a little momentum. I like to do that a little better. 2 or 3 times, and then come all the way up into your standing. Lift up as you inhale, flat back. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up, chair pose, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Slowly lower all the way down. Back into your boat pose. Holding here. Nice and stable, strong, you got it. And then rock all the way up and down until you can come back into standing. Hang out here in your forward fold. And then step it back to downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. So we've made it up to the core. Now we'll start to open the chest. As you inhale, reach the right leg up and forward, and then begin to launch off that left leg, coming into a warrior 3. Take your time, become stable. Keep lifting the leg. Try to square the hip, and then start to open up the chest, reaching the chest forward. So normally we would want our back flat, but we're working on opening the chest here. So really lift it up. If it means your leg doesn't come as high, that's okay. And then step back to plank, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale up to cobra, and then slowly start to lower down. And begin to windshield wiper the legs, and then start to grab for your feet, coming into boat pose, opening up the chest even more, and the back. Keep lifting with each inhale, lift a little higher. Slowly start to come back to your downward facing dog. Breathe here. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Reach the left leg high and then step it forward. Launch off of that right foot. Coming into your warrior 3 variation here, lifting up through the chest. Even if the right leg doesn't come as high as it could if your back was nice and flat. Focus on that chest opening here. Maybe even lifting the chin. Stabilize yourself and then step back to plank. Lower down to the belly, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra. Slowly drop the head down. Set up for another bow pose. Grabbing for your feet behind you. Try to keep the knees drawing together. And lift the chest. Breathe here. Open up. Nice. Slowly release. Press it back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale the right leg forward. Lift off of that left foot, coming into your warrior 3 here. This time, see if you can interlace your fingers. Open the chest a little more. Lift the chin. Keep breathing. I slowly step it back. Lower down. Nice and slow. Inhale, cobra. Lift the chest even more and the chin. Gaze up. Lower back down. Another bow pose. Grab for your feet behind you. See if these are becoming a little more easy if your back is feeling more open. Lift up. With each inhale and slowly release on your exhale. Downward facing dog. Pause here in your downward facing dog. Sink the heels down, gaze at your thighs or navel. Notice your breath. Come back to that intention or resolve you set. Slow the breath if it's become shallow or quick. And then step the left foot forward, launch off the right foot, coming into that standing, balancing position. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Steady yourself, lift the chest and the chin. Nice job. Slowly start to release, step it back to plank, lower down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, lower down. Set up here for another bow. This time maybe grab for the ankles and flex the feet. Keep lifting and breathing. Slowly release and press back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Slowly begin to drop down to the knees. Extend the legs in front of you. Begin to cross the right knee over the left. Wrap yourself around, grabbing for the knee with the left arm. Find a twist here. Keep breathing. Slowly start to release and switch sides. Left foot over the right leg. Wrap the right arm around the left knee. Notice which side is easier for you. Deep breaths here. Slowly come back toward the center. Come down to the knees and then stand on the knees. We'll come into a little more back bending here. So tuck the toes under. Begin to press the hips forward, engaging the belly. You can keep doing that or reach one hand behind you toward your heel or both. We'll open the throat here, the chest, the back. Keep breathing, everything engaged without pinching the lower back. And slowly start to come forward. Still with the toes tucked, we'll sit the hips back on the heels and just pause here for a moment, stretching into the feet. Notice a smooth breath here with your spine upright. No compression. Long, deep breaths. Try not to focus on wanting to get out of this if your feet are hurting. This is intense. Just embrace what's happening. Maybe this has gotten more tolerable since the last time you've done this. We're almost through this. Slowly begin to come forward. Take the tops of the feet down. You can slap the tops of the feet on the ground. And then take the knees apart. Toes touch. Come into child's pose. Sinking the hips back toward the heels. Feel the forehead connect to the ground. So we've worked our way from the bottom of the spine to the hips, core, chest, throat, and now the forehead is connected to the ground. Slowly start to come back up. Make your way into a seated position. Same way that we started. Close the eyes. Take 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Notice how you feel. If it's different than when you first started the practice. Express some gratitude toward yourself for showing up to do this work. Know that you're exactly where you need to be on your journey. Thank you so much. Namaste.